Good morning. So, have you some questions to ask about meaning of human life? That will be nicer, I think. That will be nicer. No, don't expect that I have something very special to say. I came here to meet you actually, because they are doing good job here. So I'm just trying to support them. I'm not a specialist in meaning of human life or anything like that. But it's good to sit together and explore. As His Holiness the Dalai Lama always says that meaning of human life is happiness. That's enough, my talk finishes. Right, that's good. Meaning of human life is happiness. Do you agree? So now we start exploring. It's not just me giving the talk, but let us explore. Meaning of human life is happiness. And what is happiness? Huh? Being content, absolutely. Absolutely. Happiness means satisfaction. Happiness means satisfaction. And what is the way to reach that level of contentment and satisfaction? How much amount of money you need for that satisfaction? It's individual. See? So we need to just explore like this, you see. So few things we need to make it very clear. One, that meaning of human life is happiness. Agreed. The next important thing is to explore from where are we going to get that happiness. We need to seriously explore this one. Because we all want happiness, do not want suffering. There's a few important features which we need to remember. We all want happiness, do not want suffering. Remember this all the time. Happiness also not few days happiness that you experience in Dharamshala or when you go to some other place. Long-lasting happiness, again, greedy as we are. Happiness also not just ephemeral happiness, but long-lasting happiness. That's what we want. And the important point is that we want this wish to have long-lasting happiness and peace. It's not something that we have learned from our parents. It's not something that you learned from your religious tradition. It's the way you are. In your inborn nature, you came into this world crying. The first thing that the child does after birth is crying, right? Not laughing. And by crying, to make a long story short, by crying the child is asking for something. Maybe asking for milk or whatever. But basically, again to make a long story short, the child is basically saying, I want happiness. The child is basically saying, I want somebody's love. Why? Because I need happiness. There's a lot to think just about these few things which will completely change your life. If you reflect on the way we are born, the child is crying and helpless. Right now we are not crying, of course, like their child, but still we are still helpless. We need other people's help, other people's love. So the child came into this world with this slogan that I want somebody's love. And the kind of love that the child is asking is unconditional love. Because the child has nothing to give back at that time. That's another very important lesson that the child is teaching us. In your life, for your flourishment, for the flourishment and success of others, what we need to have is unconditional love. This is a very, very important statement. Because when we are grown up, we do express some kind of love, affection, but in many cases, unfortunately, it's not unconditional love. It is business love. I love you so long as you love me. That's business. Unconditional love. So can we cultivate that unconditional love? Unconditional love means a love where you help others, where you support others, where you try to benefit others, on the understanding that this person wants happiness, do not want suffering. Exactly how you do with yourself. You at least try your best to do something for yourself, not because you are very special, a professor or celebrity, not because of that, but because you want happiness, do not want suffering. Therefore, at least it may not be perfect, but at least you are trying your best to take care of yourself, be it feeding yourself, be it clothing yourself, whatever. You spend your whole life taking care of, supposed to be taking care of. We are not good here, we make a lot of mistakes, but supposed to be taking care of yourself. Not because you are special. Similarly, you should take care of others because just like you, they also want happiness, do not want suffering. Of course, then you will try to defend yourself by saying, yeah, that is true, but I take care of myself, they take care of themselves, so who am I to take care of them? What's the connection? That's normally what we think. But then we say this is wrong, because when you think like this, you are thinking as there is no connection between those other people and yourself. But that is not true. Directly or indirectly, in one way or the other, you are connected to others. So especially in today's world, it's like swimming or singing together situation. What happens in one part of the world very strongly affects other part of the world. Be it political changes or economical changes, whatever you see. So we are really like group of people sailing in a ship. Especially when you do the sail through a very stormy water. I've seen this very often, you see. When you check in a 5-star hotel or fly an aeroplane, then we meet a group of people who also have checked in the hotel or taking that flight. So in the beginning, of course, we are meeting for the first time. We don't show probably that much interest. So you also pretend that I'm somebody who can manage to stay in a 5-star hotel. So I'm somebody, kind of attitude, You don't show much sense of that connection, that closeness. At the most, you'll say, hi, or how do you do? Morning, with a grumpy look or whatever. That's what we do. But unexpectedly, if there's an earthquake which jolts everybody, or there's a turbulence in the mid-air, and the pilot says, ladies and gentlemen, tie your belt, we are entering into the zone of turbulence. Suddenly people just mellows. Suddenly people start looking at each other and start smiling. This is the truth. When you are in difficult situation, vulnerable situation, you need that human affection, human love, human connection, you see. So it is important not to forget the importance of such unconditional love and compassion in our daily life. Because that is the only and most important spiritual food that will save the humanity. All different kinds of sufferings and problems in one form or the other that we see in the world today, it's because of not having that feeling of sameness, that feeling of love, that feeling of affection. And everybody thinking, oh, I can manage without you, or my country can manage without you. If you are a student of science, and have studied the genes of each and every human being, they show that there's so much similarity than differences. Over 90% sameness than differences. But when we talk about human life, life basically means a duration that you live from birth to death. That's human life. That's the duration. So the key question is not simply you are simply living, but the question is, how are you living? How are you going to make your journey meaningful? Just like you have to make your journey to Dharamsala meaningful. Similarly, how are you going to make your journey on this planet beautiful? Today we see so much pollution everywhere. All kinds of diseases we see around. These are not the doings of animals or birds. The pollution or any signs of degeneration is basically man-made human beings, the clever human beings, the intelligent human beings. Yes, we are intelligent, but if we don't use this human intelligence in the right way, we will become the destroyer of this planet. And especially today, these nuclear warheads, the nuclear bombs, some of them are so powerful they can destroy the whole planet. Somebody told me 7-8 times over. Imagine. And somebody has just pushed the button. So is this an area where we should show our human greatness and intelligence? Time has come, we need to slowly discuss and talk how to denuclearize. Number one, life is short. The Buddhist teachers say you don't have to kill because they will die. You can see how intelligent, how clever we are. We are killing those who are going to die. We are creating more sufferings on those who are already suffering. So we really need to think. How are you going to make your life meaningful? As you rightly mentioned, happiness means satisfaction. Will you get that satisfaction by eliminating other people, killing other people? See. So we need to at least educate a younger generation. Elder generation, maybe not much hope. Maybe some hope. I should not say hopeless, but difficult to change maybe. Because they are like determined, okay, I'm going to die myself for that so-called religion. I'm going to die myself for the so-called nation, whatever that means. I don't, these things doesn't make much sense to me. But we need to really live for the younger generation. What is it that you are going to live for your young kids or children, which you say you love them so much? Are you going to just leave some concrete buildings, or teach them a proper way of thinking so that they are able to flourish and get happiness in all situations? So the meaning of human life, as we agreed, I'm not just saying now, we agreed, meaning of human life. At the end of the talk, I'll let you sign, that you agree. So the meaning of human life is happiness long-lasting happiness. So the next most important thing is to really think seriously. Don't listen to just somebody, but you think yourself, from where are you going to get that long? Number one, you touching your heart. Figure out whether you really want long-lasting happiness or not. If you don't want, nobody can force you. See whether you really want that long-lasting happiness and peace. If that is your inner call, that is something that you agree, then the next important thing is to ask, from where am I going to get the long-lasting happiness and peace? You search for yourself, just as the Buddha searched. The Buddha searched these few important things. He saw people having happiness, wanting happiness but not getting enough. He saw people not wanting suffering but getting too much. So he spent his whole life finding out what are the causes for that happiness that people are seeking so much, and what are the causes of the suffering, and how can we eliminate that. That's all he was doing. So we need to do that. Because if you say if you want long-lasting happiness and peace, if you just say and sit there, nobody will give you that long-lasting happiness. At least in Buddhism we say, Buddha cannot give that to you. He can only show you the path. You have to work, you have to live. Nobody can come and enter in your head and transform your emotion, change your brain. You have to do it. Nobody can do that for you. So, it is very pertinent and important to ask the question, from where am I going to get the long-lasting peace and happiness? From where do you think you're going to get it? Sincerely putting your hand on the heart, tell me, from where do you think you are going to get the long-lasting happiness? This is a big decision based on recognition that we have to make. From where do you think you'll get it?
It has to start from yourself.
Huh?
It has to start from yourself.
Not only start, but you have to do it for yourself. Are you sure? You need to remember there's not only talking here. I mean, because I'm saying this based on my own experience. Normally, people don't care to think about these things. Yesterday I was reading a book where it says, if your motorcycle is not working, immediately you will go to the mechanics to fix it. Or your refrigerator is not working, again you will call somebody to fix it. But if your life is not working, who is going to fix that for you? Do you have a mechanic somewhere that you will invite? And even people try to do some brain surgery, whatever, that's not going to be useful, effective. So who is going to? The problem is people don't even think about how to fix those problems. People don't even acknowledge their shortcomings, their faults. They may be going in the wrong direction, but still take it for granted. Oh, the society is going that way, therefore I should also blindly jump in that direction. The rest of the population of the world is smoking, so I must smoke. That's not a healthy trend. So we need to not only ask these questions, but as much as possible. Of course, there is no quick, push button enlightenment. Things take time, but at least you need to start and make the effort. That now I'm very clear that I want long-lasting happiness and peace. Write it as a reminder. Write it and put it on the wall. I want long-lasting happiness and peace, and that long-lasting happiness and peace has to come primarily from my mental outlook. I'm saying primarily, I'm not saying others are irrelevant. Others are relevant, of course, they can also help you. But mainly, primarily, it is me. It's myself who is to bring that long-lasting happiness. Write that down. This being the case, how should I live now? It's not just talking. So the third step is, how should I start living now? And what is it in my mind that obstructs getting that long-lasting peace and happiness? And what are those features and qualities which makes my mind or my life smooth, happy and peaceful? So, what are those mental qualities which is good to get that long-lasting happiness, peace? So one thing for sure, that what is outside of you, including your relatives and friends, husband, wife, what is outside of you, not necessarily because they are bad, but the nature, the reality is such that they cannot give you long-lasting happiness and peace. They can only repeat how much I love you. They'll run hither and thither to take care of you. They spend money. If you're sick, they can come to the hospital. That way they can help you. But they cannot enter into your mind and think for you, plan for you, make you a good person. Very difficult. So you have to understand this one important thing. Self is the refuge. Oneself is one's own protector. Oneself is one's own refuge at the end of the day. Similarly, oneself is one's own enemy. Not so much from outside. Enemy means somebody who does something unpleasant, bring suffering, bring problems. And that many of your problems and sufferings are your own doing. Like on a larger scale, much of the problem suffering that we see in the world today is our own doing. We cannot blame the tigers and snakes and lions because by nature they are destructive, poisonous, therefore the pollution that we see in the world is done by snakes. We cannot say. It's clear that it's done by human beings. So therefore we need to individually, and on a larger scale, we need to develop this awareness that if we want to make one's own individual life happy and peaceful, one has to develop an attitude which leads to such happiness and peace. If we want peace and happiness in the society, in the world, all of us have to. It's no good just keep on complaining and criticizing somebody. We are very good in doing that. But that's not the solution. As somebody very clearly said that it is better to light a candle than curse the darkness. If we are here like 20-30 people here, and if suddenly the light goes out and it's all darkness, then this rest 20-30 people, we all keep on complaining, oh, hell with this light, the local administration is so bad and things like that. We can keep on complaining, but that will not bring the light. So out of this 20-30 people, if just one person gets up and lights a candle, that solves the problem, you see. So each of us, doesn't really matter how much success you achieve or not, but at least it's worth making an attempt. Right? So you need to, so what I'm driving at is that how much happiness and peace or suffering you experience is dominantly related to your thinking, your mental outlook. We say this is good, this is bad, but there's so much projection there, what is good, what is bad. We say suffering, happiness, there are also a lot of mental projection. That's Buddhist teaching, based on Buddhist teaching. And science also now slowly coming to that line of thinking. And there was a time in the classical kind of science, at the time of Newton and so forth, they were really saying that, okay, we should be objective. And through objective scientific investigation, we can find the truth as it is. And we'll be able to find an unchanging truth. That is what they used to believe. Now gradually, with more sophisticated machines to explore things and, the whole process of scientific investigation is improving. Now people are saying, you cannot talk about that objective truth without relating to the mind which looks at it, without relating on the instrument which you are using. So now we are talking about uncertainty principle. So that basically means how you see things, including the truth, is very much dependent upon the seer, how you see things. I can call this person, oh, so handsome, so beautiful. This does not mean to say that everybody will say this person is handsome, beautiful. Someone else will come, oh, she is ugly, or he is not handsome. Clearly showing this is how you see things. You see? So therefore, one very powerful Buddhist teaching says, if it is something you can change, don't worry. because you can change it. Right? If it is something you can't change it, no use worrying, because by worrying you can't change it. I mean, look at the wisdom. Look at the wisdom. And most of the time we suffer because of not developing a holistic viewpoint and simply focusing on a small bit. And then you say, oh, I'm so happy, you get completely excited and get arrogant and proud. On other occasions, you see something which you don't like, distasteful. You say, oh, the world is horrible. Oh, that object is horrible. Oh, that person is all good and no good at all, kind of attitude, you see. So it's important to take a holistic viewpoint in life. If there is sunshine today, okay, enjoy sunshine, good. But don't think there will be sunshine throughout the year. Dharamsala has a terrible monsoon, you see. You see? So if you are getting good news right now, it doesn't mean that for the rest of your life you keep on getting good news. If you are healthy today, it doesn't mean you will be healthy for the rest of your life. So health will be there, sickness will be there, sunshine will be there, darkness will be there, ups and downs is a part of human life. So you need to develop such a mental attitude that when you encounter these ups and downs in life, when you hear this good news and bad news, you don't get jolted. You don't get jolted. You're able to say, yeah, day and night, same two sides of the same coin. And if you know how to read night, it also has its beauty. It also has its goodness. As one of the Buddhist teachers, he says, suffering is introduction to happiness. And I prefer using the word challenges than suffering. Because if you run away from suffering, if you run away from challenges, you will never get an opportunity to get new idea, new experience. It's by grappling with new challenges, difficulties, problems, you get so many new ideas. That's called exploration, you see. So therefore, I give a commitment, just like a tantric initiation, Even during such talks, I sometimes try to give a commitment. I tell people that you make a commitment, and the commitment is whatever may come in my life, I will never make my mind unhappy. That's the commitment. You see, you can do that. It's not easy, but you can do that. With understanding that by making your mind unhappy, that's not the solution. And in fact, even if there is a solution, if you're unhappy and hopeless and desperate, you will not even use that solution. And the unhappiness of the mind is the food for anger. So basically when we say don't become unhappy, we are saying don't give food to anger. Starve anger. Just like you starve your enemy by stopping the supply of food. That's what they are doing, I think, in Mosul right now, in Iraq probably. So you need to starve these negative emotions. Don't give food to them. And you need to nourish the positive virtuous qualities. And there are so many reasons that you should be happy. Like imagine, some people come to me and ask me, Geshe, can you please teach meditation? I sometimes tell them, you want meditation? Okay, then you just go out and imagine that you are not a human being and you are a dog on the street. Do that meditation. I mean, the formal Buddhist meditation everybody can teach. But for me, sometimes this kind of meditation is more useful. If you imagine you are a dog, stray dog, probably manged also, Then imagine where are you going to take rest, where are you going to eat, where are you going to sleep. Then you will realize, thank God I'm not a dog, Then you will appreciate your life. I mean, even among human beings, how many hundreds and thousands of people there are who are without eyes, who are without sight, who are without arms, who are without legs. And we are not appreciating what we have right now. We take it for granted. Oh, I go up, down. You're not using your eye properly, not using your leg properly, not using your hand properly, And those people who don't have hand, they are dying. Oh, if I have have a hand, I'll hug that person. You have this beautiful hand for hugging, which means loving other people, not hearing. And the eye also look at other people with love, with affection, not hatred. That's why human beings, the eye of human beings are more like deer than snakes. You see? There's so many reasons to be happy, you see. So therefore, what is important is to see everything more in a positive light. Yes, we can do. Yes, we can become compassionate. Yes, we can change the world. Not just sitting there and complaining, as I given you the example of darkness, not lighting the candle. That's not the solution. You may not be able to solve the whole world's problem by one individual, but you can make a difference here. Just by small things, even by cleaning the garbage or whatever, you see. Small things. You don't need big things. And in fact, you achieve these big things by doing small things. Just smiling. You don't lose anything by smiling. You see. So there are very, very small things you can do which can create a ripple effect in the society where people feel like coming. Like for example in Dharamsala and Meghlorganj, if people are nice, and nobody cheats each other, nobody, exploits each other, the people will talk highly about Meghlorganj, Dharamsala, they will come. But unfortunately these days things are degenerating everywhere, you see. People take advantage of each other, just thinking about the money, not helping the visitors, things like that. Then people say, oh yeah, I went there, but, then people lose, you see. Like when you check in a 5-star hotel or fly, the people working there, they're so nice to you. You know why? Sir, please come. Thank you very much. May I help you? Not because they are nice, but even to get the money, to get things from others, you need to be nice, you see. And that is kind of business nice, But if you are not just for money in business, but if you are genuinely nice, the outcome will be same. The outcome will be same. And biologically, love and affection are good for our body. Good for our body. So with this kind of realizations, we need to make a decisive conclusion that I will make my life meaningful. And life, as I said, it's a duration. But if you sit down and think very seriously how long I am going to live, nobody can say. On an average, we talk about like living 90 years or something. But that's average. Individually speaking, it's not sure how long you are going to live. It may be today only. You may be gone tomorrow. Nobody knows. And we have so many cases like that. Even without falling sick, people just go like that, you see. So living means living from that perspective. Living means living each and every moment. Living a good life doesn't mean, okay, today I'll prepare, tomorrow I'll live. That will never come, believe me. So living means living now. Each and every moment be awake, happy, enjoy the moment, just like small kids. Small kids, they live in the moment. Even if the things they have is, the toys they have is broken and not so good, but still they play with that as if they got the whole world, they are so happy with that. And then sometimes they fight and then cry, but that fight, after the fight there's no resentment. Again they will play together, you see. They don't talk about which country you belong to, which religion you follow. I'll kill you. No. They don't do things. So in a way we are worse than small kids. Now we are killing for these names. Name of religion, name of this, that. And I really don't think any of those people who do that, they follow any religion. If they follow religion, then the religion itself, whether it's Islam or Christian, they say, we are all God's creation. How can you kill the creation of the God? So this is a madness. This kind of mental attitude, we really need to talk and change people's way of thinking. Think big. The world in a way is big, but in a way it's very small now. We are all connected. We sing or swim together, as I said. So therefore, talk on the level of humanity. The feelings are same. You want happiness, I want happiness. It's not that Tibetans want happiness, Chinese don't want happiness. It's not like that. We all want happiness. We all don't want suffering. But because of stupidity of people in general, and especially some of the stupid leaders who have the power, they are bringing all this mess. They don't have the vision, they don't have the courage, they only go for money. In which country I can do my business. And then they go there and meddle, you see, play politics. So in the process, ordinary people, including women and children are dying. So we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this, and we should not become what you call as a accomplice, partner to those wrongdoings. At least that you can do, you see. It's really, really important. So, to make a long story short, life is short, death is definite, time of death is indefinite. We are very good in making, appointments, But the Lord of Death will not seek your appointment. You can be gone any time. So before that death, of course we can give a long talk on death and things like that, but before that death comes, don't worry about death. If you live your life well, death will take care of itself. At least according to Buddhism, there is no mental death. Okay? There is no mental death. There is no death to the mind. So the mind will continue to. And what kind of mind will continue? It's important, not important that the mind continues. What is important is a constructive, positive mental energy continues. So for that we need to start living a constructive, productive, nice life. So that when you live happily. When you die happily. So your regulation of emotions and transformation of emotions. And these days people use the word emotional intelligence or emotional awareness. Basically means awareness of your mind, regulation of your mind, transforming the negative, positive, from negative to the positive. So these are the things which will completely transform your mind and make your life happy. Whatever it is, you will be happy. Okay, thank you.